Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Mwah. We are back in the second round of immunotherapy for my lip. And
round two.
We're very excited in where we're at, to be clear, but we just wanted to kind of share this journey and how we're going through this, so we're documenting all of it. But most of you know we had great news that the doctor said we're in great shape, and basically said he could make the argument. He said something like this. I'm clinging to it because it just was a great statement. Make the argument that we do nothing, and then we go back every 3 months to get things checked. If there was a mark or whatever, we'd biopsy it. But he said, I'm going to go ahead and recommend that we do the immunotherapy again to make sure that we take care of all, if there's any microscopic thing that we can't see, which
Right.
I was appreciative for the first statement and in full agreement of the second one, that I think that's probably a good idea, right?
Right. And again, when he said that, you want to cling on to those words. Well, if you could make that argument, why do I need to do round two? Because immunotherapy, it's not like packing your beach bag and going to White Horse Beach and hanging out, right? It's a pretty grueling and becomes painful process for 6 weeks. So
I have to admit, last night I stood in front of the mirror a little bit before I put it on.
Yeah.
Because I still have some, I'm going to just call it tough skin, some leftover dry patches from the healing from the last round. So I'm just finally getting back to normal,
right.
And we're just going back into the fire again. So
right.
I have to admit, I know you're already in bed, but I was sitting there staring like...
Well, I was watching. He was hemming and hawing, and we even discussed it before that, and it's much easier for me to say because it's not me going through it, but I was 100% behind the doctor. And this is the beauty, is that you could have made a decision not to do it and to just continue, following the course. But the fact that he said, I recommend round two because we can't see anything topically, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing microscopic left that this will bring out for his immune system to fight against. And you and I were talking about this today too. So we had a terrible night's sleep, I think, because it's that debate within yourself. Well, should I do it or should I take a chance?
Yeah, I also had a dream. Like it was so real. You have those dreams and you're just like, did that really happen? I had a dream because I hadn't had this stuff on for so long, and it by the way, it says, do not get it in your mouth, do not get it on your mouth, and I put it on my lip, right across my top lip and underneath.
Because it's being used off-label for your cancer treatment.
Yeah, so it's a little tenuous when you put this on, going to sleep. It's like, okay, I don't want to get this in my mouth. I had a dream that I, licked my lips like and full on. So I'm like, did I really just do that?
Right.
And I think I couldn't get back to sleep. I think that was like midnight when I woke up, and we were talking at 1.
And
anyway,
we were at
so we're gonna go to bed early tonight, to say the least. But I am 100% on board with doing this again. As you know, I think we shared. I've cut out sugar 100%, gluten 100%. I'm intermittent fasting, so it's like we're all in going hardcore. We're not pulling any punches with this thing.
Right.
So because the alternative is a pretty evasive surgery. So I feel like all of this, even though we're hemming and hawing about it a little bit, it's the easy road, I believe, compared to where we could have been going.
Definitely. And we met with a lot of doctors, and every one of them, as we said, wanted to basically remove the entire top lip. And what they then do is they kind of use the skin underneath to build the lip. And it would have been several surgeries to correct the situation, and not just aesthetically, which it would have made a big difference there. But, again, physically, as far as speaking, drinking, eating, things like that, and even breathing, because it would have been different with closing
we didn't know. I mean, we had everything from, hey, someone else did this, and, you could barely tell, to people saying it's going to be very disfiguring.
Yes.
So it's,
that particular doctor was off the list. I wasn't even allowed in there. Jeffrey FaceTimed me, and I'm sure he was being honest and blunt, but I can't imagine anybody is going to really go to him for any kind of surgery like that based on the description that he was giving. So, it's funny now. We can laugh at it now because, I do believe we've beat this, and we're doing round 2 as an insurance policy.
Right.
And on top of that, we were talking about today how, as we've been listening to the Ocean Robbins and his dad, I'm totally spacing out. John Robbins.
The food revolution.
Yeah, the food revolution. If you are interested at all in nutrition and how, food is medicine, Google the food revolution. It's a free summit, and you probably can't go back to the beginning of it. I think tomorrow's day 4, but you can listen for the past 24 hours. Anyway, they were talking about giving yourself the knowledge to have optimal health, right? And while Jeffrey's going through immunotherapy, which uses your own body, it uses your own immune system to fight against the cancer that's been hiding, why wouldn't you, at the very least for each round, which is 6 weeks, during that time, why wouldn't you give yourself the very best option for your immunity?
Right. No, exactly. So I believe we're doing all the right things. We're taking this last step. We want to make sure we're finishing the story, because it's going to be all mapped out. And, I feel like we really self-advocated and, forced us down the right path. And we're pretty excited about it. So just wanted to share that. I don't have anything else to add, really.
No, I think that's it. You've had a lot of people reach out to you on LinkedIn. Jeffrey's got, I think, like 30,000 people on LinkedIn that he's connected to. And a lot of people have reached out that have seen our videos that have also gone through this and have also sought out, other avenues other than surgery or other than chemo or including chemo, etc. There's so many different things that we have learned from other people going through this. So the point is that we all just need to share our experiences, and we are not saying this is the right avenue for anyone. We're just letting you know that it was the right avenue for us.
Well, it's an option is what we want to share. It's an option.
It's an option to explore for everyone, whether it's right for you or not. We knew from the beginning, and that I think is why we saw so many doctors, and they all said surgery, surgery, surgery. And you and I just kept saying, I just know that we could do immunotherapy. And because we are committed to doing it by giving your body the best optimal immune system during it, that your success rate was going to be higher than if you didn't do that and you were committed to that. And that's really, really important. So you have to know what you're willing to commit to. And we were reading a lot of things about chemotherapy, that people who ate a really healthy diet during chemotherapy and really had, was it broccoli? Like a broccoli shake right before chemotherapy, supposedly, and again, this is not medical advice, just something I found really fascinating, supposedly those people fared so much better with their treatments than people who ate sort of the SAD, the standard American diet of, high-fat foods and sugars and glutens, etc.
Yeah, so we're doing all those right things. Really working on our Reiki treatments too. We're learning a lot there too. So we'll that's a video for another day. The Reiki and the healers and all these
and
other
the
folks.
chakras.
All the stuff that we're working on. So really cool stuff. And
thanks for being with us. We're going to show you a close-up of Jeffrey's lip from the last treatment, the end of the last treatment. Were you going to put that clip up here?
I wasn't, but I could.
Yeah, I think you should, just so people can really understand, again, the commitment of going through this, because it's not just, putting a cream on every night. And, there were several nights and weeks where you were putting a cream on and,
Well, I can look back at the last videos, because it's pretty self-explanatory when you see it.
Exactly.
Right.
Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the nest at Copper Mountain.
Thanks, guys.